Hi, and welcome to Enchantment of Eternity's review for the second Season 6 trailer for Game of Thrones. So this second trailer was a shorter version of the first one, but we do see some additional clips that weren't in the first trailer, so I do want to touch on some of them. However, this video will just be a real quick short one since this trailer doesn't offer that much new, so I'm not going to go through every new image introduced in this trailer, just those I have something to say about. So first off, let me give a spoiler warning for Game of Thrones up to Season 5 and a spoiler warning for filming and production leaks for Season 6. If you don't want to know anything that's been confirmed for Season 6, then this video is not for you. Also, as always, I intend to look at the trailer from the perspective of my previous Season 6 predictions and how it affects them. If this doesn't sound interesting to you, then this video may not be for you either. So the first trailer got me really excited, where I watched it at least 50 times in a row, and the first time I watched it I was literally jumping out of my chair with excitement. This trailer I watched like twice and just went, not bad. Mainly because it's just a shorter rehash of the first one with a few new images, so let me get into some of my thoughts on them. So let's talk about the High Sparrow. We get this new segment of him saying, we are sinful creatures, we deserve death. And apparently he's talking to Tommen, and the next image we get a closer look at Jaime leading a group of Tyrell soldiers on Baelor Sept. Now we know from filming leaks that Jaime leads a group of Kingsguard and Tyrell soldiers on Baelor Sept, and that Margaery and Tommen emerge from the Sept completely devoted to the faith. And it was my prediction that Tommen would sneak off in the middle of the night and go into the Sept to plead to get Margaery back, and would in turn become devoted to the faith in order to appease them. Margaery would also become devoted to the faith, except she'd be faking it, where Tommen would be sincere. So I believe that this scene is Tommen meeting with the High Sparrow when he sneaks off into the Sept, and is when the High Sparrow wins him over, but that's just my guess. I quite like this shot. I think it's really awesome, where we actually see Drogon fly over the Dothraki, and this could be Vael's Dothraki, or maybe not. In fact, this could even be after the Dothraki are devoted to Daenerys, because we know from filming leaks that they will become devoted to her because of Drogon, or this could be before, who knows. It's an awesome shot though. So we also get a slightly extended shot of the Tower of Joy fight scene, and I am now completely convinced that the guy we see here is a young Ned Stark. He kind of looks like Ned Stark from behind, doesn't he? I think so. Okay, now here's another awesome scene of 1-1 busting through the gates. Now I hear a lot of speculation and debate over whether this is Castle Black or Winterfell, and while I think either one is possible, here's where I stand on the issue. We know from filming links that 1-1 smashes through the gates of Winterfell during a scene where Jon, Ramsay, Littlefinger, and Sansa meet in Winterfell. So in order for this to be Castle Black, that would mean 1-1 crashes through the gates of both Castle Black and Winterfell, and I think that's a bit overkill. In my eyes, this is a Occam Razors situation. We know he smashes through the gates of Winterfell, therefore it's probably Winterfell. Some people say it looks like Castle Black, and it does. However, it also looks like Winterfell. I know we haven't seen Winterfell as much as Castle Black lately, so people may not remember what Winterfell looks like, but I think it kind of looks like this. Anyway, that's just where I stand on the issue. So I talked about this in my review for the first trailer, but I want to touch on this again because it seems like everyone and their brother, except for me and my brother, seem to be predicting that Tyrion will release the dragons. Now at this stage, this is just pure speculation, and I'm not 100% certain the way I am on, say, that Littlefinger's gift was Lancel, but I do feel very strongly that Tyrion will not release the dragons. Most people take it as a given, but I still strongly feel it won't happen. Now, I do think they will get out. Some people seem to think by me saying Tyrion won't release them means they'll stay trapped in there all season. Not at all. In fact, if you want to hear more about this, you can watch my predictions video on Tyrion. But what I am saying is that it would be a really stupid move for Tyrion to release the dragons, and Tyrion is not stupid. In fact, I predicted that when the dragons are released, it will actually hurt Tyrion's cause and turn people against them. And as we see from the other cool shot in the trailer where Tyrion, Missandei, and Grey Worm meet with some Myronese masters, he will try to outmaneuver them, negotiate with them, and stuff like that. Because that's what Tyrion is best at, not to sick dragons on them. I don't think that's in his nature, and it's a bad idea. But, he may go and visit the dragons, and that could be what this scene is, but maybe this has nothing to do with the dragons. All we know is he's holding a torch in the dark. It looks like a cave. Could be anything. But, he will not free them, at least not intentionally. Okay, so let me talk about this. Although you can't see him as clearly as you could in the first trailer, that's a man on horseback that looks like it could be Jon Snow. And I received at least 10 comments on my previous video informing me that I missed this image, when in fact I didn't miss it. I simply didn't think it was worth mentioning because I have already shown a much clearer image with Kit Harington filming at the Battle of the North, which is way more definitive proof that Jon will be alive in Season 6, despite Kit Harington's assurances, and that he just made a few days ago that he won't be. To me, that's a lot more damning evidence than a blurry images that flashes across the screen in a microsecond that may or may not be Jon Snow. But to be fair, I do think it is Jon Snow, but I just don't think it is as damning evidence than the one we already got months ago. Moving on. This looks cool. Not much to say about it. Speculating would be pointless, but it looks cool. So let's talk about Jaqen's voiceover, where he says, one way or another, the gift will be given. One way or another, a face will be added to the hall. First off, it's cool to see Jaqen's voice featured in this trailer. I love Jaqen H'ghar. But this, I think, goes along perfectly with my prediction that the Faceless Men would test Arya and test her in such a way to fail would mean her life. Which is basically what he's saying here, or at least I think so. Bring us a face or we'll take yours. But that's just my take on it. Okay, Theon's crying, and he's with a woman. Most people think it's Yara, and I concur. He's also looking similar to when he did at the end of Season 5, so I think this is when he first meets Yara, but that's just my guess. Okay, the Night King grabs Bran. WTF? So, is Bran really there? I still think no. Either it's a vision that doesn't really happen, or some sort of telepathic communication via the green side, or perhaps the Night King initiates it himself. Kind of like, think about Sauron talking to Pippin through the Palanthea in The Return of the King. That's what I'm thinking of. I still don't think Bran is physically standing next to the Night King because Bran is physically standing, which he can't do. Still a very interesting addition. So those are my thoughts on the new trailer, but be sure to subscribe for more Game of Thrones videos as we count down to Season 6, and I will be releasing another Game of Thrones video this week, hopefully, looking back on Sansa's Season 5 storyline. So be sure to look out for that, and thanks a lot for watching.